everyone, this is Optibotimus coming with another video review. And today, thanks to the folks at NECA, we'll be taking a look at the new 1/4 scale Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Now, carrying on with a lot of their 1/4 scale figures that they did initially with the Lord of the Ring figures, and then what we saw earlier this year with the release of Gollum and Smeagol, the young version of Bilbo comes to us in this wonderful 1/4 scale, which roughly translates to about 12 inches or so tall. As you can see, really nice open package here. It does feature Sting, the sword of Bilbo Baggins. Really nice artwork here on the side. Coming around here to that side, you got Bilbo. It says The Hobbit. Coming around here to the back, got a really nice image of the Bilbo figure itself, an up-close image of his face, as well as a more full body image. Coming up to the top, it says The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey follows the journey of Bilbo Baggins, who is unexpectedly swept into an epic quest to reclaim the lost dwarf kingdom of Eober, which was long ago conquested by the dragon Smaug. Approached out of the blue by the wizard Gandalf the Grey, Bilbo finds himself joining a company of 13 dwarves led by the legendary warrior Thorin Oakenshield. Their journey will take them into the wild, through treacherous lands swarming with goblins and orcs, deadly wargs, and sorcerers. Although their goal lies to the east, amidst the wastelands of the Lonely Mountains, first they must escape the goblin tunnels, where Bilbo meets the creature that will change his life forever. Gollum. Here, alone with Gollum, on the shores of an underground lake, the unassuming Bilbo Baggins not only discovers depths of guile and courage that surprise even him, he also gains possession of Gollum's precious ring that holds unexpected and useful qualities. A simple gold ring that is tied to the fate of all Middle-earth in ways Bilbo cannot begin to know. And then coming down, it also says, like all hobbits, Bilbo Baggins is fine of his comfortable existence. All he needs to be happy is a full pantry and a good book. When the wizard Gandalf and 13 dwarves unexpectedly appear on Bilbo's doorstep and invite him to join them on a dangerous adventure, Bilbo's life changes forever. Initially skeptical of the invitation, Bilbo's spirit of adventure lends him to join the company of Thorin Oakenshield and become the burglar, required to complete their quest to outwit a ferocious dragon and reclaim the dwarves' stolen treasure. To everyone's surprise, including his own, Bilbo's wit and courage prove that there is indeed more to this hobbit than meets the eye. Really beautiful packaging on here. Come around here to the side, nothing else there. You got that, and you got that. But that's about it for the guy. In terms of the box, and coming around to the side, you can actually see Sting and his scabbard kind of sort of in there. So I'm really looking forward to this and have been for a very long time. So let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Bilbo opened up and out of its packaging. And right up front, I have to tell you that for a $40 figure, I am absolutely amazed at what NECA is able to do in terms of the likeness and just the sheer awesomeness of a figure. In terms of the scale kind of figures, obviously this is a 1/4 scale. We're kind of used to seeing companies such as Hot Toys making the 1/6 scale figures, but at super high prices. I would absolutely love to see what NECA would be able to do if they charged prices like that. Because in my honest opinion, this is easily a figure that is well worth at least $100. And the actual MSRP is less than half that. Now, starting things off first, we're going to take a look at his accessories. Now, this is one point of concern that I do have here. Come, get out of there, Sting. First off, you have Sting, which is a wonderful representation of how it looks in the actual Hobbit movie. Zooming in to take a look, you can see that it is a shortened sword, or as it was described in the Hobbit movie, it's more of a letter opener, really. Really nice detail on here. Very nice silver paint. You do have the really beautiful kind of engraved part here on the one side of the blade. You don't have that on the other side, but that side, I mean, that's fine that it's there. Now, it obviously isn't blue because there's no orcs or goblins around, so that's pretty accurate, I suppose. But a very nice piece nonetheless. And he does come with this scabbard, and as I said, this is the part where I have a little bit of a concern. It can be attached to him. It does actually kind of buckle actually on him, which is really very cool, and then you can just take it off just like so. My biggest point of concern, though, I mean, you have a lot of these little holes right here, but when you're putting it around them, and you got a little peg right there, you do have to stretch just a little bit and really kind of pull this to get it to actually fit. And I'll show that here in a second, but you can see very nice scabbard on here. Again, very accurate to how it looked in the movie. And then the sword very nicely slides right in there, just like so. So you can have that display option as well. Now, you don't have to attach it to his waist or anything like that, but that's how I'm going to choose to display this. But that is a little bit cumbersome. Now, like I said, what you want to do, you want to come around here, and as you can see, this is all very soft armor. I'm going to get his arms up out of the way. Then you just take this and you wrap this around like you would a belt, and bring it around. My biggest complaint, I guess, is I wish that this section here would be a little bit longer, because now what you have to do is bring this around, and as you can see, it's not quite long enough. So you have to pull this, and it really makes me nervous about the durability of the plastic. Now, keeping it off to the side, because you usually would keep a sword off to the side, kind of get that around there, and then you can see you do have to pull as if you would do it on a normal belt. And you can see where this rubber bit right here is now stretching, just so that you can really bring this peg and get that lined up and kind of wiggle that in there, and there we go. And then once you do have that, you have this little plastic piece as well that comes over, and that one's kind of hard to get to, but you can see that I didn't even have that pushed in all the way. It just makes me nervous that this rubber here is going to rip. It really does, and that's my biggest point of contention with this, and biggest point of concern, I suppose. I wish that they used a different material here, and if they had Hot Toys budget, they probably could. But you can see I am struggling to get that over there and kind of wedge that in there, sort of like so. Here, I'm going to hold that, and then I'm going to bring out some tweezers here to try and push that peg in there a little bit more. Yeah, see, it's tough to do. It really isn't all that easy to do. And then just holding it there, I'm gonna stop fiddling with that. But you can see that it doesn't stay attached very easily. Now, I would imagine maybe if you brought this in the front, you can actually, yeah, see, if you bring it in the front where this, because this is flat, if it's more on the side, it's a little bit harder to actually do, it seems. Get that in there. And lift that up. I'm just going to hold it right there. Maybe that'll do it. And then you take this and fit that right in there. Kind of slide that over, and there you have it reattached to them. But you could really see how difficult that was to do. So I love that. I just really wish that, number one, the strap was a little bit longer, and because it's made out of this softer rubber plastic, not even rubber, but a softer plastic, when you're trying to stretch it to get it to actually fit, it kind of feels like it's going to rip. And that's a very unfortunate aspect. But again, when you take into consideration that this is only a $40 figure, I guess that's not something to really complain too terribly much about. Bump it up to $100, and that could actually be a leather strap with real metal buckles. But for what it is, it's actually really very nice. Now, I do just wish that, like I said, it's harder to get it where this is more off to the side. And did I actually, something pop? Or did that just completely, yeah, that just completely came undone in there. So, oh, that's actually not that bad. It kind of holds on there by itself with the assistance of this bit. So here, that's a little bit better, I guess. So I sort of fixed it. Now, the most impressive thing on here is the likeness of this figure to Martin Freeman, the character who actually plays Bilbo in the new Hobbit movie. That is an absolute wonderful representation of Martin Freeman. I mean, that really does look like him, all the way down to the hair. I mean, I actually went back and looked at images from the movie, and I mean, the way that the hair is kind of parted here, where it kind of swoops down, creating this little triangle right here, that's even recreated. I mean, the attention to detail on here is amazing. And looking on here, you can see a little bit of stubble coming across. This is obviously a little bit further along the journey where he's not as clean shaven. He's a little bit more dirty, as evident by the rest of his outfit. But absolute wonderful detail on here. Coming down a little bit more so you can see, like I was saying, very dirty looking, and you can see a lot of wear in the jacket. I love the black, the different tone that you have with the red going into the black. You have some like mud here along the bottom section of his jacket. You got mud and dirt along the sleeves and everything. Absolutely spot on representation. It is a softer rubber. It does almost look like it can remove. I'm not going to waste my time trying to get it to actually remove, just because that seems kind of pointless. But also the shirt underneath here, it's all one piece, but this is also a softer rubber as well. You can see there's some give in there as well. And then coming down to his pants, obviously he's got these kind of capri looking pants, I suppose. Very dirty feet. I posted pictures on Twitter because I'm amazed at the detail in these feet. You can see the ugly, hairy feet that he has, very dirty toenails. Very obvious that these characters walk around barefoot all the time. But, I mean, it's just absolutely wicked how much detail that they can get in there. I mean, the toenails are obvious, very dirty. You got the actual knuckles are dirtier and everything. It's just an absolute wonderful, wonderful piece. And then you come around here to the back, and then you got that same level of detail carried through, just absolutely giving a level of detail to this that you would not expect in a $40 action figure. It's simply stunning. Now, one of the other hallmarks of these 1/4 scale and larger scale figures is the amount of articulation that's put into it. And this guy is not short when it comes to that as well. Now, for his articulation, the head is on this nice ball joint that you can see gets a full range of motion. The neck also is articulated, so you can see that it moves forward and back here right below where the shirt is. So you get a forward and back motion. That actually rotates as well. So when you turn the head, you can see right here, like where his Adam's apple would be, you can actually rotate that as well. And that's just more realism that really, really brings that home. And it just looks terrific. He does appear to have like an ab ball, I suppose, or a waist ball. So you get a nice range of motion there, but because of the outfit, it is a little bit more limited. The shoulders here just move in and out. They move all the way around. They're not on ball joints, they're just on the swivel joint there. Same thing here with the elbow, move forward and back. They also rotate. He also has, it appears to be a bit of a ball joint here at the actual wrist itself, so you get a nice range of motion with that. You can rotate him obviously here at the waist. You can make his sword fall off. I'm just going to take that off for now. And then you come down to his hips. They move in and out. Now, I like the way they actually designed this. A lot of people kind of criticize Gollum because you could see a lot of the joints. Well, he was a naked figure, basically. So that's a lot harder to kind of hide that. I love how they designed this where it really kind of looks like the actual cut is just part of a seam kind of here in his actual pants. I mean, now when you split it like that, obviously you have it, but that articulation is there. And this is also a very soft rubber, much like that upper jacket. So forward and back, it actually rotates, so a lot of articulation there. The knees move forward and back. They also rotate. And then the feet have a pivot, left and right, move forward and back, so you have all the articulation that you really could potentially want in a figure, and again, at a fraction of what most people pay when they buy those Hot Toy figures for that articulation as well. Now, the bottom line is this guy is an absolute joy to have. As I've constantly said throughout this review, at $40, this thing is impressive. Now, NECA has been doing a lot of larger scale figures lately in the 1/4 scale, specifically with a lot of the Marvel Avengers, such as Captain America and Iron Man. Now, the problem that I have with those is that at 1/4 scale, they're roughly about 18 inches tall. And about 12 is the most that I really kind of want to do for my collection. So this guy fits absolutely perfect. Without a doubt, if you are a fan of The Hobbit or even The Lord of the Rings, Bilbo Baggins is a figure that you are absolutely going to want to pick up. The amount of detail in this, the amount of articulation, all coupled with the price, make this a fantastic deal, and is without a doubt, in my opinion, the reason why NECA is one of the best toy companies out there. They're able to take what we want and maximize that to the extreme by giving us good quality figures at a very good price. This guy is proudly displayed with my extremely expensive Hot Toy figures, and that's how high of a regard that I have for this figure. It belongs on that shelf because it's as good, if not better, than anything that we've gotten from Hot Toys previously. So once again, I want to thank the folks over at NECA, and if you guys are interested in picking this guy up, any day now he'll be appearing on your retail shelves. So get out there, good luck, and happy hunting. And until next time, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus, and follow me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.